Hangtown. First moto of the outdoors. Here we go.
Couldn't have said it better myself, Travis Baker. Action is on as 25,000 people line the hills of Hangtown outside of Sacramento for the opening round of the Lucas Oil Pro Motocross Championship, sanctioned by AMA Pro Racing. And all the action they were hoping to see, well, they got it and then some. And we captured it all right here for the RacerX Motocross Show. Check it.
We're lining up for a race, brother. That's what we're doing. What are you doing?
It's the RacerX Motocross Show on AllySports.com. All sorts of fired up on 2012. Jason Weigandt giving it the call here. Drama and intrigue already in the 250 class. Dean Wilson, bad shoulder and all, going to give it a shot this year to try to defend his #1 plate. First moto, Justin Barcia grabs the whole shot. He's got Ken Roczen right behind him, and the battle we wanted to see between those two quickly materialized, and it was as good as we expected it to be. Roczen putting the pressure on Barcia, and Barcia able to respond to his every move. But behind them, the action was even better. Good start for Kyle Peters on the Star Racing Yamaha. Hit Eli Tomac right behind him. And how about old hot sauce? Ivan Tedesco in the mix, as well as Blake Baggett and Wilson. Those guys swap positions back and forth. Baggett kind of circulating back there. Finally, we get around his teammate Tedesco. Wilson in close formation. And then the battle for the lead began to materialize as Roczen was sick of eating roost from Barcia. He goes to the #1 spot, and he gets it. As those two battle for the lead, Wilson actually would pull off in this moto. The shoulder just too sore to continue. He is calling it a summer. So maybe the title will come down to one of these riders. Barcia, Roczen, maybe Tomac, or Baggett, who puts on a late race charge. First, he gets Tomac for third. Beginning of the last lap, he passes Barcia for second. And at the end of the last lap, he does the impossible. He goes around Roczen with just a few turns to go and steals the lead and the win. El Chupacabra's back. Blake Baggett takes the moto win. Roczen got to be bummed to let that one go, but still a good debut for American Motocross. High fives all around. Wilson's out, but Pro Circuit's got to win anyway. Moto 2, another hole shot for Barcia and another second-place start for Roczen, but look out. First turn crash. Eli Tomac's down. Jesse Nelson is down. Will Hahn is down. Shane Sewell is down. Then Roczen would go down on his own on the first lap, allowing Baggett to slip into second. Baggett and Barcia were able to pull away from the field in this one. Here's the battle behind them. Roczen trying to make up ground. His teammate Marvin Muscan right there. And Suzuki teammates Jason Anderson, Martin Davalos, and Blake Wharton were there as well. Baggett kept the heat on Barcia. And here he goes, where he made a pass on the outside in Moto 1. He's going to try to go to the inside of Moto 2. Classic Bam Bam Barcia tries to come back at him. Couldn't quite get the pass back. And from there, Baggett would simply check out and was gone to 1-1 Moto scores. A bit further back, Anderson running a solid race. He would get around Muscan for fourth, with his teammates right behind him. Looked like Anderson was going to be settling in for a solid finish until late in the race. With pressure being applied by Davalos, he would stall his Suzuki. That would open up the door for Davalos and for Ivan Tedesco to get by. Tedesco kept charging. He would move into fourth and give him fourth overall for the day. Not bad for the old guy of the 250 class. Now, Will Hahn, despite the first turn crash, would come back for 10th overall. First turn crash also for Tomac. He would come back for 10th in the moto for 5th overall. No changes up front. Same riders that were there in the first moto. Baggett's going to hold on to win this one, go 1-1. Barcia will finish second and go 3-2. And Roczen, picking up from his early crash in Moto 2, finishes third. That's good enough for third overall. Hey, we're joined by Georgia Lindsay, who is down in the trenches today. I was in the beautiful air-conditioned TV booth. Give me an idea what it was like down at the track. The crowd was into it. We had 25,000 people. What was it like in that 250 moto? It must have been going nuts.
Number one, it was hot. It was a very hot day for a first race.
Okay.
But it was amazing. The atmosphere out there. The crowd were electric out there. It was amazing for a first race to see people like that. People cheering on Ken Roczen, Blake Baggett in that last race, catching Roczen in the last couple of corners. I mean, great for him. It was a great race for him.
Absolutely. All right, Georgia will be back a little bit later to talk to Ken Roczen. We're going to get to more highlights. Moto number 1 of the 450s, JS7, making his return to motocross and not messing around. A good start. Here he is on the Yoshimura Suzuki, battling it out with Chaparral Honda's Andrew Short. And they would continue to battle for most of the first lap. And then Stewart make the pass stick and pull away from there. No challengers for Stewart for the win in this one. Welcome back in a big way. Meanwhile, great battle behind him between Short, Metcalf, and Davey Millsaps. And they would go back and forth throughout this race. Eventually, Ryan Dungey would overcome his bad start and catch them as well, making it a 4-rider battle. Millsaps would go as far back as 4th, but then get back around Short and Metcalf to take over 2nd. Then Dungey would get Metcalf as well to take 3rd, but that was as far as the 2010 champ could go. Stewart takes the win. Millsaps and Dungey with him on the podium. Moto number 2. Mike Alessi is going to grab the whole shot in this one on the Moto Concepts machine. Another good start for Stewart, another good start for Short, but this time Dungey's up there as well. He would rally to 2nd, then pass Alessi. Alessi would pass Dungey back, and then Stewart would get Dungey as well. And then when he passed Alessi, he made it stick. Dungey would follow suit, get by Alessi, and that would set up the much-anticipated Stewart and Dungey battle. As Dungey shadowed Stewart throughout much of this moto, we wondered if the number 5 had a spot picked out to make the pass. The gap was about 1 to 2 seconds for most of the race, but when they got to lap traffic, normally it's a problem for the leader. Not this time. Stewart was able to negotiate it more efficiently than Dungey, and he would extend the lead, and that was all she wrote for that battle. Stewart is going to go 1-1 in his full-time return to motocross. Well done. Dungey will go 3-2 on the day to finish 2nd overall. There was a massive tie between Alessi, Metcalf, and Short for 3rd place overall on points. Alessi's better finish in Moto 2 breaks that tie. Millsaps had a couple crashes in Moto 2, hold him back. Also tough luck for Tyler Rattray, the replacement for Ryan Villapoto. A broken hand knocked him out of action for the day. Meanwhile, Stewart, all smiles. Suzuki and their new man have got themselves a win. And the women's motocross class was back in action for their opener as well. Of course, you expect the battle between the number 1, Honda of Ashton Filik, and the Rockstar Suzuki, the number 2, Jessica Patterson. They wasted no time getting out front in the moto. Filik with the early lead. Patterson would get around her. Filik would pass her back and go on to take the first moto win. The defending champ starts the year off the way she wanted to. But then things got all sorts of crazy in the second moto. Filik would pull another one of her patented pole shots in this, but it would not last for long. Patterson right behind her. The number 3 of Tara Geiger, who was 3rd in the first moto, was there. But then Filik would go down in the first lap, and then Patterson would go down as well. Get passed by Australian upstart Megan Rutledge. Geiger's there as well, and then Patterson ended up dislocating her shoulder in that early crash. Yeah, she spent most of the moto trying to get the shoulder back in the socket, and once she got it back in, she picked up the pace and nearly ran Rutledge down. But she ran out of time, meaning a virtual unknown. The 66 of Megan Rutledge takes the moto win. That's a shocker. Probably just as surprising. Patterson goes 2-2 with a busted shoulder to win the overall. And Filik, after that crash, was 5th.
Georgia Lindsay, and I am here joined with Ken Roczen. Ken Roczen, 3rd place overall today with a 2-3. First lights race here in America. I mean, how did it feel leaving that today?
Oh, I'm pumped. I didn't know what to expect. I expected it, to kind of like rushing day, and because you don't have a lot of practice, so you had to get used to the track a lot, really quick too. So I don't know. I'm happy right now. I finished 2nd in the first moto. I got past a couple of corners before the end, but that's all right. I mean, there's a big monkey off the back now. Had a little tip over in that 2nd moto and came back to 3rd. I'm pumped to be on the podium, and I will take it race by race, and I think we'll get stronger.
I mean, for a first race, that race was intense. For everybody watching it, myself, everybody was screaming up there. It was a great race for you to first, come into. But compared to obviously being in Europe last year, having that podium, how different did it feel being here in America to when you're in Europe?
Well, it's just like the European races, they're 35+2 compared to 30 here, but the pace is a lot higher. In Europe, everybody kind of settles down in the beginning and goes faster in the end. You cannot do that over here, otherwise they will be gone. So it's just a big difference. It's a big monkey off the back, like I said, and I'm happy to finish in 3rd place, and now we go to Freestone to the jacket race.
Is there anything that you can change for yourself? I mean, after having this race here at Hangtown, moving to Freestone, you now know what to expect. What's the main thing you're going to change for next weekend?
I'm actually going to Texas on Monday to Shorty. I think I'm going to stay there for 5 weeks for the beginning, so I'm happy with that. It's going to be fun, but it's the most important is to get used to the heat, adjust a little bit, and I think over there it's going to be a little bit more relaxed, and I think I can just focus more on my training there.
Well, congratulations. Good luck to Freestone next weekend, and make sure you check out the Racer X Motocross Show.